And how is it going, everyone? Welcome to more Champ King, and we are in the cat whatever it was called. I don't remember the name of the sections, but it's a place with a lot of cats, and it doesn't say when you. Oh, never mind. House of Nine Lives. Interesting that when you start, it does like a little freeze. But hey, at least it doesn't do it again. And today is also a special day. Today is It's a day that only happens every 4 years. It's February 29. The one thing that makes a leap year what it is, basically. So yeah. I guess I was thinking, hey, maybe I should do something special for such a day, but I guess this is special enough. After all, Champ King, one of those games that is special in their own right. I think there was a time that I played it for when I had a 1 year streaming streak, I think. So I guess it is special to me. Not to mention it was also one of the first games I streamed. Well, not really in between the first 10, but it's relatively close. So yeah. That makes it special in its own right, I will say. But yeah. I still don't know how much it could or could not take me to finish this specific map. It could take a long time. But yeah, it's fine. I mean, I think the issue with this mansion, this house, I don't know why I call it a mansion, but it seems like the champs here, I don't think there is that much of a setup to do. There are some you can set up, but the majority are champs that you need to kinda do on the spot. It's not really about anything other than being good at champing. Maybe there are a lot more setups than I think they are, but would like to know how, like which ones. Like for example, is this a setup? No, because you cannot go that high. But maybe if I stand like on... Wait, can you even stand here? I don't think so. Like, the cat is kind of blocking at... Yeah, that book. Like, I could... It seems... If that's a platform, it seems hard to jump into it, but I don't think it is. But the lack of setups of this section kinda makes me a little bit nervous, because one thing is going through it once, but you're for sure gonna fall here again. That's the issue. Like, differently from the other sections, I cannot really see myself going through this section fast enough. I just don't see it. Like, like the platforms are just very, very precise. And this is not even halfway through the map, for what I understand, so... yeah. Pretty nice. If these platforms weren't so ridiculously precise, but unfortunately they are, it almost makes me think that maybe... No, but jumping from the left side here I don't see why it will do anything. No, like, I need to jump from there. It's just that it's hard no matter what. Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. I mean, it will be funny if by the... if I cannot get out of here all stream. Will be tragic as well. Very, very tragic. But yeah. Because as I say, one thing is having this as an obstacle that you get through once and that's it, but it's something that you're gonna be multiple times, even after you already beat it once. So yeah, what are you gonna do there? What strategies can you possibly make use of? I don't really think there are many. Especially that jump seems unreasonable. Well, right now I cannot stop undershooting. Maybe if I instead go for a higher jump, but I don't know. It's getting rough. That's also another thing. It's only some of these jumps that I see, under and overshooting that jump is very easy. It makes me think that there is another strat, but I have no clue what strat. I mean, you cannot really do anything else. I guess maybe you can do it more from the right side, something like that, like from around here. It's hard no matter what. Unfortunately, there are more than just one of those type of jumps, so we might be out of luck. Yeah, this whole place seems perverse. Seems very, very perverse. Despite all the very cute cats, there's nothing cute about this place. Just rotten. Very, very rotten place. With nothing but misery. What I wonder is if this is one of these places where it's possible to fall from the right side. There are some maps that have like a hidden, like if I jump here, no. Yeah, no, it doesn't have anything on the other side. I know that some maps have that. Like, it looks like they have a wall, but in reality it's just like a whole vertical space that is there to make you fall all the way down. So, thankfully that doesn't seem to be the case here. But yeah. I mean, it's bad enough to have that place on the left side. That is a full fall into the previous area. That jump, I need to find a setup because it's not working. It's just, as I say, the word is unreasonable. It's an unreasonable jump. Like, doing that consistently seems impossible. At least if it was one of the last jumps. Well, I guess if it was one of the last jumps, it will be worse. You will constantly be losing a lot of progress, but like, it's the very one of the very first jumps in the whole area. I mean, even the actual first jumps in the whole area seems like trouble. Maybe I need to think it better, think that there is a setup that I'm not seeing, but it doesn't look like it. I have to somehow do it here. Maybe if you do it... No, I mean... think that it doesn't matter if it's closer to the left or closer to the right, it's still a hard one. And that's the end of that. But it seems that doing it closer to the left is giving me some advantage. Maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. Hard to tell. Maybe being closer to these things is better. The way that this type of curvy edges work in this game is weird. Like you use it as some sort of booster to get into a platform. They behave in weird ways. Can't believe it took me so long to get to this one. Okay, why not? This wasn't a full sham, right? No, I don't think it was. It wasn't that either. As you hear the sound of the little cats, will be worse. There is a nice relaxing sound in the middle of so much. I got scared there. That was gonna make me fall out of the house. Would have been tragic. But yeah, no, we're still here. I wish I remember what was the next section, because I remember the last section of this map, and I think the section before it. I remember those, but I don't remember the ones before that. I don't even remember how many in total there were. Probably not something I should worry about now. This was full champ left, yes? Good shit. Very good champ as well. Nice. Since I remember the final section of this, I also remember it being very painful. Like the final section. Well, it's kinda the same in every Champ King map, but if you fail a champ, you fall to the beginning of that final section. I remember that being the case. But I think that applies to all, at least all of the official ones. Like the first Champ King map, the final section, I actually don't remember that one that much. On the first map, what the final section was. I do remember on the second map. Though, all in all, I think that on the second map, the final section is quite permissive. Like, you can fuck up a lot and don't lose that much progress. But yeah, that doesn't apply on this one. I think I remember quite well what the gimmick of that final section was. And it's very evil. Somehow even more evil than wind and ice, which are already two very messed up gimmicks, but it's worse than those two. But yeah, pretty nice. Wait, I remember this was a full champ. It was a full champ, but now I remember that the setup was different. You needed both boots on the platform. Those are the things I wish I could remember before I failed the champ. I guess the failure is what makes you remember. Yeah. Should probably make a TXT with all my mental notes that I have for each champ. I think that it will save me a lot of trouble. At the same time, I will have to remember it in the middle of the game. I can read it all I want, but I'm not gonna read it while I'm playing the game. Though, at least in these champs, it's not like you need to hurry. You can just take your time to do these champs. I think that in that regard, you could just read whatever notes you have before champing. I also think that this game, the more you overthink the champs, the worse it is. You don't want to overthink. It's like... It's kind of like... the more you overthink it, the more your brain will be ready to mess it up. Has to be something more natural. Has to flow. But yeah, at the same time, when every champ can, well, not in this particular section, but in other sections where every champ can make you lose a lot of progress, you probably want to take your time. But yeah, it's a double-edged sword, for sure. It's also another thing that surprises me about this game, how you can figure out strategies in such a short amount of time, in the sense that at 1 second a section looks absolutely impossible and you feel like you're gonna get stuck there for ages, and at the other second you suddenly make a lot of progress. It's a weird thing. I mean, it's kinda what happened yesterday. I was very stuck in the molding manor, and yet I was able to get out of it and even reach this part. It obviously took effort, but it took less time than I initially expected. It seems that we will have the company of these cats for quite a while, most likely. Yeah, thankfully, I don't mind their company. I mean, it's better than having NPCs that like throwing a whole essay at you, just blocking the screen with their useless words. At least these ones are just saying meow, nothing more. They are just there. At the same time, maybe at some point disabling the NPC dialogues might be a good idea. If you can even do that. I don't know if you can do it. I mean, with mods you most likely can, but the question is if you can do that in the vanilla game. As I say, these ones are not particularly an issue, but the issue is when they start saying a lot of stuff and it starts kind of like distracting you. That's when it becomes a problem. Okay. It feels like the most comfortable way to jump into these platforms is by getting closer. You can ride the edge of the platform more easily. Okay, so the setup was here. The 2 boots and full jump right. Okay, and this was full jump right as well. And then you had this abomination. Okay. Wait, what jump is this? Full jump left. Yeah, and this is the thing that looks very dangerous. I mean, not this jump, but going up there will be something. I'm assuming this is full jump left, and this is full jump right. Oof. Well, that doesn't look nice at all. And wait, is this full jump left? Or full jump right? No, you don't do anything by doing that. But I'm assuming it's full jump left. Oof. Is this full jump left as well? Because if this is not full jump left, I fall all the way down. Like, below even the house of cats. I'm a little bit concerned. I will try. It is full jump. I'm assuming all of these are full jumps. All of those are full jumps. The Phantom Tower. So, basically the rule of thumb is to not fall to the left. Somehow. Okay, there doesn't seem to be anything special about these platforms. They are just decorated like that. Falling all the way to the right only makes you fall to the beginning of this section, so it's not that bad. Oh, they are phantom platforms. Interesting. There are some actual phantom platforms. Like, I saw one appear. Well, that's an issue. There are gonna be some platforms that are invisible. Unless they are actual fake platforms, that will be even worse. But it could be. Yeah, that looks quite scary. But I did not remember that section at all. Like that Phantom Tower. I did not remember that existing at all. Despite me remembering like the 2 last zones so much, I don't remember that one. Like, if you show me that, I will be like, then what fun game map is that from? But no, it's from here. Interesting. As long as you don't fall all the way to the left, you should be fine. The question is, which jumps are gonna force you to risk jumping left? So far, not a single jump forced me to jump left. Not even one. Thankfully. You can see by that recovery net that you see to the left of this, that you are definitely... You're most likely gonna make use of that, because you're probably gonna fall there. But the question is how you can fall there. I mean, I don't wanna find out, I just wanna know without finding out myself. Seems interesting. But at least for now, it seems that the furthest we're gonna go in terms of losing progress is the base of this section. The House of 9 Lives, or whatever the fuck it's called. This is the furthest we're going. For now. I can already imagine that at the end of the Phantom Tower, there will be champs that will force you to jump into the left. But until that, we don't need to worry too much. I think the Phantom Tower here works as a bait. Like, I think that if it's the first time you see that section, it wants to make you think you are getting close to the end. So I don't know how you will buy that, considering that it's only the 5th section in the map. But yeah, the difficulty density of this map is insane. This is only the 4th section of the map, and it's already as hard as that chapel on the first map, which was, I think, the... Well, I actually don't remember what section that was, but I think it was 6th section. Well, I guess there is not that much difference, but... Definitely has quite a different design philosophy. It's the way of the devs to, you know, challenge people that thought that the other maps were easy. They want a challenge, they have it. But yeah, to think that even this map is easy for the people that are used to this game and play the fun maps. It's easy compared to some of the fun maps. There are some people that got very good at this game. Well, I mean, there are people that can speedrun these maps in like 20 minutes. And it makes sense considering that the game with the achievements encourages you to speedrun. There is an achievement that is beating the initial map in 15 minutes, right? So that sort of stuff, if someone actually goes for that, it very clearly will make them very good at the game. There are also achievements about beating a tower with no falls or with less than a specific number of falls. Falls are basically that when your character lands face first into the floor, that's considered a fall. So there are achievements that want you to beat a tower without doing that. So that means no mistakes, which essentially means pretty much the same as speedrunning the game, you know. At that point, I don't think there is much difference between the two. Ironically, speedrunning is more permissive than the one that requires no falls. It's quite messed up, but yeah. You see something like that? Speedrunning a tower in 15 minutes doesn't sound that hard, right? It might not. Too short. I think that there are certain champs that I really need to focus, that I cannot even talk, like these ones. Those champs, I need to focus so much to do them. They are not easy at all. So the question here is, what happens if you fall into that square in the middle on the left side? Theoretically, it should make you fall on the other diagonal platform, making you fall towards this place. But maybe if you're falling fast enough, that won't even happen. I don't know. Hard to tell. But yeah. Phantom Tower again. Okay, you can tell that even the music is there to bait you. So that phantom platform that appears on the right side, I think you're supposed to take it now. You might be able to full jump into it, but I also don't know if it's momentary, like it's something temporary or not. Like that platform appearing there. Because you don't see it now, but I saw it before. Unless I'm going crazy. Yeah, it's there. That one platform. It looks like a Tetrimino. Then again, if I fall there, it's not a big deal because I fall right. I could try it. Okay, so this is permanent and it's guaranteed. So that's good. What do we have up there? Nothing we can pick at. And this is where the trouble starts. This is where you have champs that could actually make you fall a very long way down. This one I'm so tempted to try if it's a full champ or not. But there is another platform there, but that platform, I'm assuming that it's there as a recovery platform, because why would you want to risk that much? But yeah, a full champ left. Like, here I will assume that a full champ left cannot make me fall to the left. If anything, it will make me bounce on that left wall and then fall to the middle. I don't think it's possible to fall left with a full champ. Like, I don't see how the angle could make me do that. You know, indeed, you bounce onto that as a Spectre. Okay. It's not good, because it still makes you fall all the way here, but it's not as bad as doing that hidden platform shit. Yeah, no problem. Okay, but that's important. Those are the kind of things that you need to start discarding. Because you don't want to be doing something the hard way. If there's a way to do something more easily, you want to use it. The game is already punishing enough as it is that you really don't want to approach it with disadvantages. At least so far, I'm still not seeing champs that will make you fall to the left. I'm not seeing so far any risks to falling past this point. But yeah, I think it's a matter of time. Because another thing that I also haven't seen, aside from if it will let me go there, Aside from those little platforms that are there in case you fall, I haven't seen anything that will make you change your trajectory, assuming you fall left. So I think it's only a matter of time until I find... Yeah, like, those are the only platforms I see that can avoid you from completely falling all the way down. But I didn't see anything above that. Like, that's the most that I seen that can save you. So that still makes me think that there will still be one champ that will require you to do some nasty shit. But it's not the case yet, at least. And keep in mind, there are a lot of champs that might come that you might think, well, I need to risk more, because otherwise I'm gonna be repeating this section with the cats for a long time, right? But you also need to understand that if you fall to the left, you still need to repeat this. It's just that you also need to repeat everything that is below this. So having that in mind, you don't want to fall to the left under any circumstance. There is not a single circumstance where that will be preferred, unless at some point higher there is a safeguard that changes the trajectory of your fall. Otherwise, forget about falling left. It's a very bad idea. Yeah, that being said, it can still happen even if you are careful. I mean, it did happen once in New Bay Plus to me, even though I was constantly being extremely careful, and I still fell once to a place that could have made me lose a lot of progress. I got saved by a similar safeguard to that. But yeah, those safeguards are usually intentionally hard to do. Like, those safeguards are there, or safeguards or safety nets, if you prefer calling them that way. They usually tend to be very hard to get. Precisely because you were intended to fall, but those things are there as a last resort thing. Thankfully, in New Bay Plus, I actually was able to make use of that safety net and avoid losing progress. That can happen, but the chances are that it won't happen. Hey Blue, how is it going? How do you feel in such a special day? February 29th. What a day. I didn't prepare anything special for the stream, but as I was saying earlier, I feel like this game might be special enough, perhaps. Might be. Will never be another day like it. That's not true. In 4 years you will have another day like it, mister. That's how leap years work. In the year 2028, you will have another year like that. Yeah, 4 years. I mean, it's not that much. Consider that I've been streaming for longer than that. So, looking at it from that perspective, it's not a lot of time, at least in my case. Obviously, if you are in like elementary school or well, any part of school, high school, whatever, middle school, if you are in any of those places, then that is a lot of time. But that's because you are still developing your brain, so there are a lot of things that have a bigger impact on you, and your brain takes longer to process them. But at my age, and obviously older, 4 years is not a lot of time. Unless you are in prison. If you're in prison, any amount of time is a lot of time. But yeah, most normal people are not there. Most. But yeah. Also, today release a very interesting game that I know that you are interested in, Blue, which is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. What do you think of it? Well, I mean, I don't expect you to have watched all of it, obviously, since it just came out. But are you excited? Are you gonna play it? Are you gonna watch a playthrough? Are you not gonna do anything? What is it? Personally, we'll watch a playthrough. You're in elementary school. Yeah, you're in elementary school, not as a student particularly. Oh yeah. But yeah. You know, but that's what I say. Like, you haven't played a Final Fantasy that is not a remake. Well, precisely because of that, Rebirth is something I will assume that you are interested on, right? Whew, I got scared for a second there. Guess that's the thing. You never know how the angles can fuck you up in this game. There can be a fall angle that even if it doesn't start on the left side, it makes you eventually go to the left side. But yeah, that wasn't the case there, thankfully. But it could have been. But yeah. What are you gonna do? Or are you not gonna play it? Are you just gonna skip it? Apparently it's an open world game. Rebirth. Well, not at the beginning, but it becomes open. Why is it called Rebirth? I don't know, dude. Why do you ask me that? Do I look like Nomura to you? Come on, bro. This isn't... Yeah, it is. It is Final Fantasy Remake Part 2. It's just called Rebirth. Yes, it is Part 2. It's just that it has that name. Skip? What you mean skip? It's the Part 2 that you've been waiting for. Next is coming. I don't know what you're on about, but hey, sure, whatever you say. But yeah, like, I find it interesting. You know how a lot of times I say that the story of a video game to me is a waste of time? That video game stories are bad and it would be better if they didn't even bother with them. So you know that I usually say that. You don't have a PS5 or PS4 Pro? You can just watch a playthrough. Maybe. I will allow it, don't worry about it. But yeah, I say that a lot, right, about video game stories. And to me it's interesting that for a lot of people, an argument against my argument are stories like Final Fantasy VII, right? Stories like that game. And I more or less see what the story is about. And the story is full of the most annoying anime cliches you can think of. And the most annoying, like, forced development for a story, I mean. Like the typical, I don't know, things happen because one character doesn't say something that will be logical that they say. That's one example. Or its thing happens because the villain conveniently doesn't kill a character. You know? Or, well, doesn't have to be a villain, had to be any character. Like, a character conveniently lets another character live even when it would have been the best idea to just kill them, right? And Final Fantasy VII story is full of that. So when people use games like that as argument for games having good story, it feels like I live in a different world. Like, I live in an alien world to them. Like, if that's your argument, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I just don't know. Like, at that point we will just have to say, I agree to disagree. But with so many bad narrative what's the word? Narrative devices? No, I don't think it's device. But with so many common pits that a lot of narration has, I'm just concerned. You know? Live in a different world. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I just cannot. Also, how is it going, Draenor? Like, you cannot just expect me to take seriously a story that has those things, you know, that has the typical forced narration, that things happen because it's convenient to the plot, and that's the explanation on why they happen, not because of a logical reason. They happen because it's convenient, and that's it. So I just don't understand how, when a story has something like that, people praise it as a good story. I don't understand. And mind you that it doesn't have to be a good story. Like, the story doesn't have to be good for the game to be good. But calling it a good story, to me, it just feels insulting. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah. So yeah, basically, that's the reason why you see me play games like this one, with pretty much no story. So I guess you can say that theoretically this game has a story, like with the multiple NPCs and elements that allow you to read in the map, right? You have some semblance of a story. But I still think that since you can completely ignore it, it doesn't matter. The issue to me is when you cannot ignore it. When it takes a huge chunk of the game. That's when I take an issue with it. And Final Fantasy is obviously, since it's a turn-based RPG, that's where a lot of the emphasis will be on. But yeah. Well, that's also a reason why I appreciate games like Neptunia so much. Neptunia doesn't take itself seriously at any time. I mean, the whole thing, it's obviously supposed to be a parody. So I like that sort of stuff. But yeah. Or other examples are examples like the legendary Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. The story is an absolute shitfest, but that's what makes it so entertaining. It's also a game that doesn't take itself seriously. And that's how it should be, I think. Or rather, it's kind of what I like to call the shoujo phenomenon. It's a story that it's not a comedy, because it's not like everything that happens in the story is made to play laugh tracks in the background when a sketch happens. That's not the point. But at the same time, the story is so ridiculous that you can definitely tell that it's not a story that wants to be taken super seriously, right? But at the same time, the characters in the story do take it seriously. So you have a combination of that. A story that it's supposed to just be fun, nothing too deep, just fun. But the characters in them act as if the story was serious, right? They don't play it as a comedy. I think that's precisely what Metal Gear Rising Revengeance is. It's that sort of story. It's kind of like a shitpost. Those are the kind of stories I like for video games. Well, for video games, and I mean, I also like shoujo, and that's a manga, well, manga or anime. That sort of stories I'm a fan of. If it is a serious story, though, that's the thing. If a story is supposed to be serious, I am very picky with the story. You know? Like, I want to make sure there are no plot holes, that I understand what is happening, and that there's nothing that could be left to randomness, right? And most stories don't deliver on that. Well, especially for video games. I think that's the main reason why turn-based RPGs are just something that I just cannot get into, you know? Well, unless it's something like Pokemon. Pokemon also... The story is something completely secondary. But yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too picky. Maybe I have to lower my standards. And that's not precisely a bad thing, I guess. Right, so... here... So you jump here... and then you're supposed to jump to that platform. Is this jump even possible, though? Yes, it is. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? Right. What other monstrosity do we have here? Okay, yeah, that jump is a little bit of a monster. At least if you fall right and not left, but... I don't think I'm supposed to full jump right here, because even if I hit that ceiling that is there, it will make me fall regardless. I think I'm just supposed to jump left here, and then here, but I don't remember exactly. I think it's to the left of that chain. They might want it to appear again, but yeah, I mean, you can, yeah, it's there, to the left of that chain, exactly, and this is full jump left. Okay. Oh. Ooh, I almost panicked there a little bit. What's this though? Oh, and this is the dangerous jump. Yeah, like, it's better to fail it like that. Because if you Oh, wait, why would I want that platform? What's the point of that platform? Huh? I cannot get anywhere from there. Fuck. I'm not sure what's the point of that. But it's there. For some weird reason. Wait, this was full jump, right? Yeah. Nothing wrong with having high standards, just know it lowers the number of things you can enjoy. No, but see, the thing is that I don't really have high standards. I mean, I play I Wanna Be the Guy fan game, so that already tells you I don't really have high standard. You know? But what I'm saying with high standards is particularly for stories that... Wait, hold up. I need to focus for this one jump. Okay, I got it. But it's still going. At least you fall right. That's not that bad. Oh, and falling right, actually, the worst thing it can do, like falling all the way right, is being on the top. You don't even fall to the cut section. Okay. That's okay. Would have been worse. Well, that's worse. Nice. Very cool. Fantastic. It's interesting that I'm doing lower jumps because I got used to the jumps on that Phantom Tower that were usually low on power. But yeah, basically now I have a bigger picture of what to expect, essentially. But yeah, no, I was out to say, my standards are not high with games. My standards are high with stories that want me to take it seriously. That's what's high. Like, if a game has a story that is supposed to be the main focus, and that you want me to take it seriously and not like a joke, I will have high standards. So yeah, it's only there. It's not It's not related to the game itself, but to the story. You know? If you focus on story and it's not supposed to be taken as a joke, then you better have a very good story. And most games don't have that, so that's my issue, you know? But yeah. And yeah, Final Fantasy is clearly the type of game, well, Final Fantasy VII to be precise, It's definitely a type of game that wants you to take the story seriously. And as I say, to me it's pretty hard when I see so much shit that is there for plot convenience. You know? Like a lot of stuff that has no explanation other than the plot demands it. Hey, I'm not gonna take your story seriously. But if it's the best thing you have to offer, then how could I enjoy your game? You know? That's my point. That's what I'm trying to explain. Oh yeah, don't worry too much about it. At the same time, you also have to keep in mind that most people that played a game like Final Fantasy VII, they play them when they were teenagers at most. I think that's the reason why it's so heavily praised. I mean, for a teenager, a story like Final Fantasy blows your mind, because before that you were probably just used to Saturday morning cartoons. But you play a game like that has a semblance of a serious story with high stakes, and the fact that you're also part of the story since you're the one controlling the protagonist. Yeah, that obviously is amazing. But yeah. Unfortunately, I did not play that game as a teenager. It's a shame. But it happens. That's why I always wonder what the Gabby that played Final Fantasy VII as a kid, how would that Gabby be like? I feel like it would have been completely different taste-wise. Would have been a completely different person. That is some parallel universe shit. We'll have travel to that parallel universe to find out. Alright. So I failed this champ. Wait, cannot you? Well, there is a platform there that is also, I mean, it's not fully useless, but it's not a platform you can full jump into, so I think it is kinda useless. But my question here is if you can full jump left. Or even if you could, the bounce is not gonna be strong enough to put you in the top platform. Now, it's pretty clear you are supposed to jump to the right. But then it's such a picky jump though. It's a very, very picky jump. Oof. Yeah. At least the punishment for failing that jump is not humongous. The problem is that the punishment for failing those champs, like in the middle of the tower, the punishment there is humongous, because you're back here to the House of Cats. Oh, you can also full champ, right? Hold up. No, I don't think that's better. I don't think it's worse. Wait, what champs can I do from here? I don't think full champ left is one of them. No, because you hit that. But you know, I think that it's better to full champ left, right, like here. Sometimes it's interesting that there are so many diagonal corners that kinda like slow down your fall, and because of that it's not considered as an actual fall when you reach the ground. Even if you fall from a very high place, it still doesn't count. So it's interesting that it works that way. But yeah. Also, if you are there, Draenor, do you plan on playing the Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2? Also known as Rebirth. I don't know what is your relationship with Final Fantasy. I don't think I remember what your status on that franchise is. If I'm not mistaken, Yami doesn't like it, because he says that it's for weebs. I think I remember him saying that. And even if I didn't hear him saying that, I can picture him saying that. Yami should embrace weeb. I mean, he does, it's just that he puts a facade, if that's how you pronounce that word. He's a tsundere in public for Japanese stuff. But yeah, he loves it. But yeah, following his public persona, I think that he doesn't like Final Fantasy. At least not the ones in PlayStation. I think he's a fan of the OG ones, in like the NES and shit, but I'm not that sure. Hard to tell. And you know that today, while watching that game, when you reach that part with the open world, there are some people that say that the open world being done like that, it's kind of a little bit outdated, like the typical Ubisoft open world. It's interesting to think about that, because it's possible that that game has been in development for a lot of years, and back when it was in development, on the first stages of development, it most likely was something that was still trendy. But now it might not be trendy anymore, right? So that's there is an argument to make about multi-millionaire video game companies making games for longer than they should. and video game development taking a lot longer than it should. Feels that if big companies cannot adapt to that single fact, I think that you are just gonna keep seeing studios being closed. I think that multi-millionaire companies need to understand that developing a game for 6 years is not a very good business practice. You know? You either need to lower the scope of the games, or you need to... I don't know, do something else. Because yeah, it ends up being a tremendous waste of money. But also, by the time that the game releases, you are not even guaranteed that it's gonna be successful. Because when you did the market research for the game, that information is already outdated, and it's not like you can just bring the game down and redo it like it's nothing. I think there is an argument to be made about that. About games that take a lot of time to be made are probably better not to make them. But it obviously is one of those things that it could be a case-by-case scenario. See, for example, Zelda Breath of the Wild apparently had a lot of time in development, and it's an extremely highly praised game. But I think that that's the outlier, it's not the rule. Like most games that take that long to be made, I'm pretty sure that don't have the luxury of being highly praised. You know? Not to mention that a lot of these games that supposedly take a super long time to develop end up being released with a lot of bugs anyways. All that time developed and for no reason. So yeah, I think that big companies have to start seeing that, and that it's just not affordable to do something like that. If you're gonna go balls in like that, you need... You need something better. You definitely need something better. But yeah, I don't know. I think that we'll keep seeing indie games rising and being more popular than the big company games, partly because of that. Yes, a lot of indie games also take a shit ton of time to develop. But the difference is that, for the most part, with very few exceptions, the amount of money you end up spending is nowhere close the ones that big companies spend. I think the one exception I can think of is Cuphead. Cuphead is an extremely expensive game to make that takes a long ass time, and it's an indie game. It's very beloved, but yeah. Did the developers make bank? I don't know. Well, they probably did make bank. Just that it doesn't seem something... Doesn't seem like a healthy thing to do. Ooh, that was close. back to the tower. Really just wish as I said earlier, that the punishment for missing these middle champs wasn't so extreme. It's ironically... Wait, I think the reason for that champ to be on the left is that it actually might be a full champ. And that you might full champ to the right as well. I think that's why it's there. Because otherwise it has no reason to exist. That seems way too risky. Just that obviously if it works that way, you save yourself of a lot of trouble, but really that way? I have my doubts. Alright. Was this full champ left? Yes. I'm still curious to see if I can full champ ride this. Like, it might be possible, and if it is, I will try it, I don't care. It is, okay, so by doing that, you can champ to this one without issue. You still need to champ to that one without fucking up. Yeah, at least fucking up like that is acceptable. But yeah, it's a very evil champ, that's for sure. But yeah, at least this one has a relatively easy way to do it. But yeah, that one is just full risk. But yeah, it's better to miss it like that. You don't want to over-champ that. Not a single time. Wow, I can't believe I failed that one. Very, very cool of you. Oof, that was also close. This champ has to be, yeah, it just needs to be a tap. Nothing more than a tap. Wait, did I try full champing this one? I think I didn't, right? I think or did I? Ah, fuck, I don't remember now. Did I try full champing that one? I think I did, right? Ah, damn it. Fuck, my memory being so bad. I think I did try full champing it. But I didn't try full champing left. But yeah, full champing left, I will try it. Yeah. Oh, that's an interesting one. Okay, full champing left doesn't work. At least it's a fact now. It does not work. Full champ left is non-existent. Oh yeah. Afraid we cannot do that. Was a good experiment, I guess. Wait, did this one? Yeah, this one had a platform. Damn it. Fuck those invisible platforms, dude. You kinda just need to memorize. Nice. No. Really? Team. That's fucked up. Don't like sounding like a broken record, but yeah. That's a fucked up punishment, that's for sure. I really do wonder if you can full champ left on that invisible platform. I mean, I have to assume that's the reason why it's there, but I feel like the possible punishment is just not worth it. Possible punishment is way too harsh. What? The first champ. That was the first champ. Oof, close. Really? I don't believe that that didn't work. But yeah. That Phantom Tower will be something. That Phantom Tower will be an issue. It almost makes me want to look up strategies. But I think that that goes against the idea of the game. So you need to know by yourself if something is possible or not. Well, that being said, it depends. I could find a limit to the patience, but nah, I think it's gonna be fine. Also, today I'm a little bit sleepy. I think that I'm just gonna do the classic 3-hour stream. Because yeah, my energy is a little bit low today. A little bit. It is a little bit. I mean, I didn't take a nap today. That's the problem. And I did take a nap almost every day this week. So when you do that and you don't take a nap, you get nap withdrawal, right? You take a nap, it's kind of like drugs. Taking a nap is like a drug. It really makes you addicted to it, and when you don't take it, your body is like, hey, where is my energy, right? But yeah, it's a shame. That seems to be how metabolism works. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. It unfortunately is how it works. But yeah, let's just do the plain simple 3 hours. Those are the ones that I should do for today. And you know that I also tried investigating into that PS3 game that I was planning on playing, MotorStorm. There is an issue though, and that issue is that the game is 15 gigabytes. That seems a little bit too much. 15 gigabytes is annoying. I mean, if you can download it from Steam, sure. You don't download it from Steam. Also, how is it going, Kyle? Surprising though that a game like MotorStorm didn't ever make it outside of the PlayStation 3. I understand that exclusives are a thing, but that seems like a very weird game to make exclusive, you know? Well, even if it was on the Xbox 360, That will be even worse, because I wouldn't be able to emulate it. But yeah, it would be nice if it had a PC version, but it doesn't. Just one of those games that just didn't want to be released on PC. And it's stuck on consoles. It's a shame. Well, I mean, the same applies to games like Demon's Souls, but Demon's Souls at least got a remake. But there is one game that didn't get a remake, which is Bloodborne. Though at least, see, having those games as exclusive, I think makes sense. Because with games like that as exclusive, you can definitely sell a console. With a game like MotorStorm as an exclusive, I don't think you can sell a console like that. Doesn't seem like a system seller to me. Wait, why did I jump here? Fuck. I don't know how to do this jump at all. That works, sure. Why not? I prompted Anokin and now she has 2 bots. Yeah, no thank you. I will leave you... I will leave you with the mutants. I cannot say that I like that sort of stuff. I'm not that kinky. There is a slight smell of something burned. I don't know why that's so common a lot of times at night. I think it's just someone in a park burning grass or whatever. I don't know why they like doing that so much. Like a pastime. Revenge of the Sentei. I don't know what it is, but it's not a bad smell, it just feels a little bit intoxicating, you know? Like the kind of smell that it's alright, but kinda makes me subconsciously feel that I shouldn't be inhaling it. I mean, considering that it's probably so far away, it's not a problem, but yeah, it still feels annoying. Hey, I guess it could be worse. Yeah, I think that this area is quite an issue. I wish the jumps were easier. Sentei PSU. I mean, I don't know, dude. It can happen with anything. I don't know why you are so hell-bent on making me think that Sentei is a bad brand. I don't know what's your obsession with Sentei. Like, I'm pretty sure you can find cases of people that have an Asus power supply that also malfunction. I don't know why you have a personal crusade against Sentei. Let them be. I could also use the anecdotal evidence that... Well, I wish I remember the brand of that hard drive that I used to have. I used to have a hard drive that just stopped working one day. Wish I could remember what brand of hard drive it was. Spectra? I don't know about that one. Trying to save you from wasting money. The Sentei PSU that I had worked for 10 years, if not more. I wouldn't consider that being wasting money. So yeah. Sorry for me considering that a 10-year duration on a PSU is good. Excuse me for thinking that that's a good run for a hardware component. Especially one that is always dealing with energy, mind you. But yeah, that is definitely not wasting money. I really want to try this full champ, but as I say, if this is not a full champ, I'm dead. But how will I know without trying? Well, I don't even know where the platform is. No, oh, I know where it is. It's to the left of that chain. Like, it looks, yeah, it looks like this could be a full champ, but I failed this and it's all the way down. I'm not gonna risk it. Fuck that. Because, yeah, you might look at that and it's like, well, should have tried the other one, but this is nowhere near as bad as falling to the left. Hey Lilo-san, how is it going? There was a DRM version of this game. I mean, if you care that much about DRM, you can just crack it. You know? You can just buy the game and then apply the crack. If you care that much about not having DRM. It's not like this game has Denuvo. Pretty sure that the DRM of this game is simply the basic Steam DRM. At least I don't remember this game having Denuvo. Especially considering that it's an indie game. Would be weird if the developers waste money on something like that. If it's just the Steam DRM, there is no problem. Or again, if it is a problem, will you just crack it? Not particularly hard to crack a Steam DRM. But, I mean, not hard for someone that is used to it, that is. It's a bummer. I mean, I don't see what the issue is. As long as you have it on Steam, you can play it. And if at some point Steam disappears, you can apply the crack and still play it. Because it's not like you have to crack it yourself. I'm pretty sure there is a crack already. Especially for an indie game as popular as this one. The clean Steam files are not DRM free. Right, but as I say, you can just crack it. If it is that big of a deal, you can just do that. And again, you don't need to do it yourself. Someone probably already did it for you. I don't understand the issue. I do understand the issue of doing this, Champ. I really want to try it, but if it doesn't work, I'm dead. Though, assuming it works, is it even better than champing from the other side? Because I don't think you can full champ right from there. If you full champ right, I don't think you can hit your head with the ceiling and land. So, with that being the case, I think even if a full champ lands there, it serves no purpose. Is there a cracked version of this game? I mean, I don't know. I will assume there is. I mean, especially considering this game is from 2019. Back when, you know, a lot of groups were still active. Course. At least falling here, it's not an issue. You are 2 full champs away. Okay. As long as you just keep falling like that, it's okay. Okay. Well, there goes that. We might fall. Yeah, because you fall here. But how do you even recover from this? Is it even possible? I mean, it is, clearly, but how? That doesn't even look possible to do at all. Like, at all. Holy shit. And that was a good champ and it still failed. Well. Yeah, that is a problem. That's, yeah. At this rate, I'm most likely back to the bog. Wonderful. Well, at least I'm not back to the bog yet, but it wouldn't take that much time to get back there. That's a shame. Unfortunately, it happened... Oh yeah, I'm actually... Well, not back yet, but... I'm back to the beginning of a Molding Manor. Well, the thing is that I cannot even say that it was a dumb mistake, because it wasn't. It was a normal mistake. It would have happened at any time. It just happened there. But it was a common mistake. It's an unfortunate one. That's the bog, by the way. Yeah, I guess we might be back all the way to the bog. It's... Oof. I need to do that one a lot higher. Oh, I think this could be fine, but I don't trust it. I'm feeling that I have to be, yeah, like this. I don't know how I still didn't fall all the way down, though. A little bit curious about that. Might have a thing for blondes. I think most people have a thing for blondes, mister. Just the way it works. Well, it's a shame that we are back at Molding Manor, but it is the way it is. As I said, we at least failed on a champ that was semi-expected to happen. It wasn't a dumb mistake, it was a unexpected mistake. It still hurts, obviously, but at least I cannot blame myself for that. Well, I mean, yes, it was my fault, but I mean that it wasn't me getting greedy or whatever. It's just an honest mistake. Problem is that now it's all the way back there. But yeah, I don't blame myself for that too much. It was just a common mistake. It's fucked up that that mistake cost you so much, but it's that champ, like that champ that I failed that ultimately made me fall here is hard. I don't think it has any setup. It's not even like that other one with that risky platform. Like, it's not even that. It's a champ that it's a lot more messed up than that. But yeah, it is the way it is. A shame that on that place called Bugstalk, the one thing that made me fall was like a very small platform that you were supposed to use more strength in your champ. It looked very dumb, that's the thing. Just look extremely dumb. And it is the way it is. I don't know if I have too much practice in the first place with Bugstalk. I know that Molding Manor I have an insane amount of practice. Because it's a place that is just fucked up. But with Bugstalk, I really don't. But yeah, this was a full champ. I completely forgot about that. Well, not like I completely forgot, but I just remember now. So this one was a champ here. This was also a full champ. This one was not, though. This was a full champ. Molding Manor? Yeah, that's the name of the second section of this map. The first one is called the Bog, the second one is Molding Manor, the third one is Bugstalk, the fourth one the House of Nine Lives, and the fifth one the Phantom Tower. Those are the ones that I've seen so far. They are obviously more afterwards, but for now those are the ones that I visited. So those are the names. Maybe it's easier to say the first zone, the second zone, but I mean, since they have names, I think might as well use the names, right? But yeah, that's what it means. Also, since you're here, Lilo-san, did you English? Did you see me play Wave Race 64? I actually took your advice and I played it. It's a very good game, as I expected. Very, very entertaining, and I will say very advanced for the time. A game from 1996 having those type of wave physics is surprising, to say the least. I play this well? Thanks. I disagree though. I can see how you will think that. But yeah, I could play better. Didn't catch you playing. Yeah, no, it's fine. But well, if you want to see, you know, as always, I upload shit on my YouTube. The one that I uploaded particularly is the hard, well no, it wasn't called hard. It was called Expert. The Expert tournament, I uploaded that. I still need to do the reverse tournament. It's not that hard, but I still haven't gotten the chance of properly winning it. So yeah. Nintendo 64 did have some real gems. Yeah, I'm actually surprised because I always view the Nintendo 64 as an extremely weak console. And I mean, I guess you can say it is, since a lot of games unfortunately run in a very slow frame rate. But that doesn't mean that the games are bad at all. In fact, Wave Race 64 does run at a very rough frame rate. It's probably like 22 frames per second or something like that. But even then, it's still a very cool game to play. So yeah. And at the same time, it's obviously understandable considering that, well, it was the first generation to solely focus on 3D polygons after all, so it is something that it's understandable. But yeah, it's a cool game. And so far, at least the games that people recommended me to play on the Nintendo 64 and that I played, I have been very positively surprised by them. So I'm glad I gave them a try, indeed. And 64 moves like 10 times the amount of polygons that PlayStation 1. Sadly, people push it too much, but texture-wise, it's not very well managed. Yeah, what matters at least is that the games are playable. And the thing is that a game like Wave Race 64, it's obviously a game where you need to be able to react well to what's happening since it's a racing game. But it works very well. Like, it's playable. It's not that the low frame rate makes it impossible to play or whatever. It actually is quite playable. So that's something that is pretty cool, I will say. But yeah. Oh. This wasn't full champ, I'm pretty sure. Hey. Oh, I didn't want to do that though. See, that's bad. Unless I can somehow jump to that platform. No. Doesn't look like it. Overjumped, but could have been worse. Favorite 64, Star Fox 64 and Mario 64 were the best of the first year. Yeah, believe it or not, I actually never played Mario 64. It's a game that I still have to give it a try. Yeah, I actually never ever played it. Believe it or not. If you want to enjoy 60 FPS goodness, yeah, I did play F-Zero X. I did play it and I beat all of the I think it's Expert, the difficulty. I didn't beat the Master ones, but I did beat all of the Expert ones. It's a very hard game to play. Like, it might be one of the hardest F-Zero games. Well, it might be the hardest F-Zero game. Like, the Master Cups is not a... They are not a joke at all. It needs all of those 60 frames per second. It also needs the full use of the analog steering. Like, you really want to analog steer very precisely. It's one of those games where... Because you know that when it comes to arcade racing games, usually you don't need to use the analog stick. Like, using the gamepad tends to be enough. Again, for arcade racing games, not simulators, obviously. But F-Zero Eds is definitely not one of them. And the same applies to F-Zero She-Eds. They are basically the two 3D F-Zero games. And they are both very hard. Like, they have a very big learning curve. F-Zero She-Eds, I think it's slightly easier than F-Zero Eds, but they are both very hard. I don't think I ever played an arcade racing game as hard as those. Or at least I don't remember that being the case. I'm trying to remember... Well, no. Okay, I can think of one, but... I don't think it's at the same level. That one being Ridge Racer 64. Ridge Racer 64 has one race that is extremely hard to win. To the point that I needed to use save states to practice to be able to win. I mean, I beat it without save states, but the point is that without that practice I wouldn't have won it. It's extremely hard, but aside from that, Ridge Racer 64 is more or less like a very doable game. It's not extremely hard, but yeah, it's that one race that is a problem. Yeah, it demands respect, you can say that. But yeah, that I... Fuck. But now that I mention Ridge Racer 64, that's another Nintendo 64 game that I played, and I got positively surprised when I played it, and it was, I will say, like a better version than a game like, for example, Ridge Racer Revolution. Oh, you can just do that. That's gonna make this part faster. But yeah. Very positively surprised with the games that I was made to play on the Nintendo 64. Wow, that's the first time I overshoot that. But yeah, it's a good one. And well, I also play Diddy Kong Racing. I feel still like more the... No, I feel I still like more the Ridge Racer 1 and 4 on PS1 because of the music. Well, I can agree with you with Ridge Racer 4 because the music of Ridge Racer 4 is masterclass. Ridge Racer 1 though, aside from like the flagship song, the song that is literally called Ridge Racer, I don't really think that the the soundtrack of Ridge Racer 1 is particularly anything to write home. Though maybe since you mentioned 4, maybe you play the 60 FPS version of Ridge Racer 1. Because that game only has 2 songs, which are the best 2 songs that basically are from the first Ridge Racer and Revolution, which are, well, Ridge Racer and another one called Grip. Did you like Diddy more than Mario Kart 64? No, not at all. No, Mario Kart I think is on a league on its own. Even if Mario Kart 64 was probably my least favorite Mario Kart game, I still like it more than Diddy Kong Racing. But Diddy Kong Racing was a good game, yeah. It's just that I feel like comparing anything to Mario Kart is very hard because Mario Kart is just so extremely well done, you know. That's the thing about Mario Kart. It's a franchise that is phenomenal. It really is an amazing franchise. Like, any Mario Kart game that you play is good. It doesn't matter which one it is. Every single Mario Kart game is good to play. You could mention any Mario Kart and they are just good games. And even if the 64 one I don't prefer it, it's still just very well done. The Diddy Kong Racing was cool. Just that I wasn't the biggest fan of the... Like, for the time I know that having a racing game where you can fly, swim, and also run on asphalt is amazing. But I wasn't a very big fan of the flying courses. The water one were okay. Like I did like the handling of the hoverboard simply because it made you use the analog stick a lot. Like it made you do very precise movements. So that was fun to do. Fuck, I keep jumping there. But yeah, I think that the flying sections bring the game down a little bit. They are not super bad, it's just that I don't think they are better than the rest of the game. Okay. Alright, so what do I do here? I need to jump from here. And then up here. And then this is the issue. I think you're supposed to go here and then... Yeah, I think that's the intended way. But something tells me I did not do that last time. That's a shame. And that's a gigantic punishment, actually. Pretty cool. Very nice of you. Diddy was made by Rare, a bit experimental, but Kart 64 and Wave Race were better on their class. Yeah, I will say that. Both Mario Kart 64 and Wave Race 64 were definitely better. Well, if we gotta include Ridge Racer 64, I would also include that one. But yeah. It was still a good game. I mean, keep in mind that the formula was so good, like having that like campaign mode. was such a good idea that the Crash Team Racing copied it later. And Crash Team Racing is an amazing game. And it copied it simply because it was a very good idea. I mean, it was and it still is. But yeah. That's the one thing that, no matter what, I definitely have to recognize to Diddy Kong Racing. That it kinda sets that formula. And it's just a very good idea. I wish more games were like that. Because I feel like when you think about that, aside from Crash Team Racing, are there many games that try to copy Diddy Kong Racing's formula with the overworld map and all that shit? I feel like there isn't, because, I mean, obviously, sure, you have games like, I mean, just to give a very extreme example, you have games like Burnout. A game like Burnout has a lot of different events that allow you to unlock a lot of stuff, and like it kind of works in that way that you have variety in how you handle the cars. You also can have kind of like boss battles if you want to consider them that way, and at the same time you unlock new events the more you progress. But I don't think the specific strict formula that Diddy Kong Racing uses is very replicated anywhere else. Crash Team Racing impressed me a lot with the deformation in PS1. Not surprised, made by Naughty Dog. It basically, if I'm not mistaken, is the last Crash Bandicoot game that was made by Naughty Dog. Because after that, it went to other companies that couldn't really replicate, I feel, what Naughty Dog is supposed to do. You know? I feel that Naughty Dog definitely knew what to do with Crash. But as soon as they were out, I mean, not like for example, games like Crash Bash, I like it. Crash Bash is one of my childhood games and it's pretty cool to play. Can be pretty frustrating as well, but I think that it's a cool game. You have games like Wrath of Cortex that might not be too much to write home about, but I think they do their job, at least as a replacement for what Naughty Dog could have probably made. And then you have stuff like Twinsanity. Twinsanity is an unfinished game, but even with how unfinished it is, I still think that it's very, very fun to play. At least what is there is fun to play, I will say. It's cool. But yeah. Then there are some very weird games that start appearing after that. You have games like Tag Team Racing, a very bizarre game. It's supposed to be a racing game, but you have an overworld where you collect ways of killing Crash for some reason. Very, very weird. And also the racing itself is not very good. It's a cool concept, like you fuse with other racers to become like an attack machine, but it definitely is not on the level of Crash Team Racing, that much is sure. Oof. But yeah, I think that it's still cool for what it is, but not as cool as the previous ones. And then the last one I played was Mind Over Mutants. That game was very bizarre. Like, it was barely even a Crash game. Like, very, very weird. You basically had mutants in an open world that you could control. And the game is basically like just a platforming game with beat 'em up or hack and slash elements. It's very, very weird. Like, it's one of those games that kind of feels like a fever dream, but it does exist. They say Sonic Team Racing is also good, but I have not played it. I also didn't play, and that's because it was always way too expensive here, unfortunately. The one that I did play, and I can tell you that it's a very good game, is Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transform. You can compare that game to Mario Kart 8, and I think that it's just extremely well done. Has a lot of characters, the tracks are amazing, the mechanics are cool too. Obviously, you can most likely say that a game like Mario Kart 8 is better, and it probably is, but Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transform is just very good. I recommend that. Yeah, with Sonic Team Racing I cannot say, because I never played it, and in Steam it seems to have some mixed reviews. But yeah, it looks cool enough, I guess. But yeah, I think that if you want to play a Sonic racing game, well, before recommending that one, I will recommend Sonic Riders, the first one. Sonic Riders is a very, very well-made game. It has a lot of content. It's not just the story mode, you have a lot of challenges, a lot of unlockables. It's very fun to play. It's for PlayStation 2 and the GameCube, if I'm not mistaken. Either the GameCube or the Wii, one of those two. I definitely recommend that one. Then you have Sonic Rider Zero Gravity. That one is good too, but I feel that it's not at the level of the first one. But it's definitely enjoyable. Then you have Sonic Riders Free something, I don't even remember the name, but that was a Kinect game. Yeah, that one is not good, so you can forget about that one. Yeah, the GameCube. Yeah, the one that is from the Wii, if I'm not mistaken, is Zero Gravity. I think Zero Gravity is for the Wii. Maybe. I played it, will be on GameCube. Yeah, it's basically... well, in my childhood I played it on PS2, but when I replayed it like around 2 years ago, I played it on GameCube simply because emulating GameCube is a lot easier than emulating PS2. So yeah. It's a good game. Well, I mean, it's... I don't know which one came first. If it was F-Zero GX or Sonic Riders. I don't know which one came first. But they are pretty similar in how they handle like the story mode and the challenges. Like, they seem very, very similar, and it makes sense since they are both made by Sega. Hardware-wise, GameCube is simpler, even if it's arguably more powerful than PS2. It seems that that's the reason for the emulator to be miles better than the PS2 one. The PS2 emulator is a shame. There are so many good PS2 games that I basically cannot play because they don't run perfectly. They are technically playable. I fucked that up. But they are technically playable, as in a lot of them have major graphical glitches. Simpler hardware makes easier to make emulators, yeah. Well, PS3, well, I didn't try enough games on PS3, but the two games that I played on PS3 work pretty well. I mean, one of them makes sense because it's supposed to be a port of an arcade game, which is Sonic the Fighters. The PS3 version of that game works very well. Aside from that, I played Afterburner Climax, and that game runs perfect. Like, absolutely perfect. But I only tried those two, I didn't try any more than that, so I cannot really say. I do know that with PS2 I tried with many games, and a lot of them, as I say, they are playable. Like, you can play them and you can finish them, but they have major bugs that if you want to not have them, you need to run the emulator on software mode. But for running for running a game on software mode, it's not a good idea. Like, giving the processor the whole load to emulate something is insane. A lot of graphical glitches don't have a single solution in hardware mode. Like, basically, if you look up the wiki page for whatever game you want to emulate and you look what's the solution for that glitch, is play software mode. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to play this shit on software mode. Really appreciate it. I as well should say that it doesn't fit and that you have to eat a dick. Would have been more honest than saying use software mode. Nintendo tends to choose very off-the-shelf parts and make simpler hardware so everything is well emulated. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Hopefully it remains being that way. But yeah, I mean, at least so far Nintendo has been very consistent about what they do. Yeah, it's just get an amazing processor, bro. Yeah, and as you say, sometimes not even then it runs smoothly. That's simply because the emulator is not even prepared to run it smoothly. So yeah, it's funny when you look at the wiki page and it says solution, switch to software mode. I'm sorry, that's not a solution. Like, solution is no solution. But yeah, that's also something that bothers me a lot about the wording of things in the PS2 emulator. There are a lot of things that are labeled as playable. And the problem is that the standard to something being playable is something having major glitches. That yes, they allow you to finish the game, but that's not being playable. That's being... I know that it's probably a harder to understand term, but that's finishable, not playable. You're not playing it the way you are supposed to play it. You're playing a mockery of that game. When things are complicated, it takes more CPU cycles to emulate the synchronization of the system. It seems that the PS2 architecture is an absolute mess. A system with 4 main parts is simpler to emulate than a system with 20 parts. Well, yeah. Clearly. But yeah. It is still something that I feel that they should be more honest with the wording. Like, it's okay, if the emulator doesn't work properly, that's a bummer, but at least don't pretend it does. Right? That's what upsets me with the PS2 emulator. It's like the epitome of, if I don't acknowledge the problem is not there. Not even because the individual parts are complex, but the synchronization between them. Yeah, I can figure that. I also know that multi-threading is something that is very hard to do, to code. So you cannot really just say, well, just multi-thread, bro. It's not very easy to do that. Which is also the reason why, even if you have an absolutely godlike processor, you can still struggle, because what matters is the single core performance. And that a lot of times is not amazing, because it's not supposed to be. I rarely play on emulator because as a teen I got tired of dealing with those issues. I just buy the systems I wanna play. Well, I personally think that, considering that I stream, that's an unfortunate miss. But considering that I stream, it's just something that, for me, it's obviously a lot more practical to emulate. Obviously, if there is a game that doesn't run on emulator, well, that's too bad, but I think that setting up stuff with legitimate consoles will be a bigger issue. If I didn't stream, though, it wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, assuming the hardware of these consoles still works well. But yeah. Well, that's another problem. There are a lot of older consoles that, unfortunately, unless you do maintenance, well, even if you do maintenance, a lot of them unfortunately cannot do more than what the age allows them to do. Some systems are quite old by now. Really, I went from undershooting it to overshooting it. I can't believe it. Because that jump is not that hard. That jump that I just failed there is a lot harder. God damn it. A $5 USB to capture will do. That's not the only problem. You gotta understand that I have a limited amount of space. Like right here on my room I only have this desk. And the desk is already quite full as it is, so even if I had a way to easily capture the footage, I don't have space to do that. Not to mention that on Summer having a console on top of the computer being here will completely cook me. You need to understand that summers here can reach close to 40 degrees Celsius, I'm talking. So having a lot of working computers in the same place seems like a bad idea for my physical health, you know. But yeah, it is a problem. Well, right now I don't have air conditioner, because I know that will be the suggestion. I'll just use air conditioner. But I'm renting this, so I cannot just put an air conditioner. This apartment is being rented, so I cannot do as I please in terms of what I attach to the apartment. Well, consoles don't hit as much as a personal computer in this day and age, sure, but every bit adds until eventually you can barely breathe, I mean. But yeah. The space thing is also a problem, and I already have quite a little bit of a mess with cables, because there are a lot of cables running around there, so adding even more cables seems like a bad idea, you know. Did you do Star Fox? No. The only Star Fox that I play is the one on Super Nintendo, and I didn't play it that much. I wasn't even streaming back when I played it. It was some time ago. I played it like for a couple of minutes, and then I didn't keep playing it, and that's the only Star Fox experience that I have. Aside from that, the answer is no. I have not experienced Star Fox. It is a franchise that I want to play on stream eventually, but I don't really feel like doing it anytime soon, though. But yeah, there are a lot of franchises that are popular that I never played or that I never finish, and it will be cool to do so. But yeah. Oof. Nice. Really? You can bounce there? Hmm? Okay. So are we back to the cats? Well, I can still fail this jump. Oh! Got him! We are back with the cats. Can you believe that? We are back at the beginning of the stream. Can you believe that? That's what I call progress, indeed. Amazing progress. Well, at least... something that didn't happen. I didn't fall to the very bottom of the bog on this stream. That could have happened and it didn't. But yeah. I did fall quite back, and yet I'm back up here, so I think that is good, because it kinda makes you lose fear of falling too much. I mean, you still don't wanna do it, but it's better than nothing. Switch doesn't heat up cause Uncle Nintendo say underclock. Yeah, I mean, I have a Switch. I mean, I will show it, but I'm a little bit lazy to pick it up. But yeah, I mean, that's the whole reason why I play games like Mario Kart 8 or Smash Ultimate on stream. I do have one. Well, I play Pokemon Legend Arceus, for example. Yeah, the Switch, I think it was a very good purchase. Like, I purchased it in the year 2018 or maybe 2019, one of those two. So either 5 or 6 years. Well, no, 5, because 6 years today I wasn't even working, and it was after I got a job. I stole a Switch. Yeah. Which is getting really old now, yeah, but that's the problem. Even if another Switch releases, I'm probably not gonna buy it. So I pray for another Switch to not release, but it's obviously gonna release. Because as you can see, as you say, the current Switch got pretty old. But that's the issue. I'm most likely not gonna buy it, and I will miss out on the games that come out there. That's a little bit annoying. But yeah. I can't wait for a Switch 2 that can play Switch 1 games at 60 frames per second. Yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath there. I will be more cautious with that. I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm just saying to not have very high expectations just so they are not betrayed in the end, you know? But yeah. Nintendo hardware has always been old, but they managed to squeeze the performance. Well, yeah, it heavily depends on what game you're talking about. But yeah. They do what they can. They indeed do whatever the console allows them to do. So in that regard, it is what it is. Most issues with slowdown on Switch 1 is related to memory bandwidth, so any new compatible Switch 2 will do. It's not a CPU-GPU issue. Well, if that's the case, that will be great. So a guy overclocked the memory and Tears of the Kingdom run much better. Hey, if it's something that is relatively simple to fix, then that will do wonders. I guess that's one thing that I guess not many people take into account. Because when we talk about RAM, usually what you think of is you think of the total space that the RAM has, but you don't think about the speed, which a lot of times is just as important. Because you can have like 32 gigabytes of RAM, but if they are very slow clock speeds, you're not gonna do shit. Hey Big Malone, how is it going? Yeah, it's a little bit too late for that. I already did lose half my progress with a big champ, but fortunately I'm back at where I was. But yeah, That's something that you have to expect. Like, in this game, you will lose half of your progress with a single champ, and that's okay. It happens. You just need to take that something that can unfortunately happen and will most likely happen. But yeah, don't you worry about it. We are mentally ready for such situations. The question is how much longer I could probably take that mental abuse, but I think for now it's fine, because at the same time, I don't think there is any other game that I feel very strongly about playing it right now. So because of that, it's not like I'm thinking, damn, I'm playing this when I could be playing whatever. No, I don't think that, because I don't really have such a game right now. I mean, I do have games that I plan on playing most likely when this is over. But the thing is that it's not really a priority. That's for sure. Oh yeah, no reason to hurry yet. Just keep it cool. Well, I guess there is one limit though, which will be the next version of Genshin Impact. Because the next version of Genshin Impact releases with a character that I really like. So I will have to pull for him. But that happens in 10 days. I want to believe that in 10 days this tower will be beaten. I want to assume. If that's not the case, we will be in trouble. But yeah, that's like the only thing I can think of right now that I'm like, I need to play that when it comes. But yeah, aside from that, I don't really have any other big plans. But yeah, I do have a lot of PS1 games to, in reserve, or when I eventually this might be over. They are there. There is also the fact that, as I mentioned yesterday, I'm practicing Ketsui off stream. So basically, one thing that I could do when I'm done with this game, whether it is because I beat it or because I got tired of it, regardless of the case, one thing that I can do is, well, try a regular 1 coin clear of Ketsui. And if that happens, well, at least we will have another 1 coin clear under my belt. Of a pretty good game at that. Switch memory bandwidth 25 gigabytes per second. Nvidia 3090 memory bandwidth, almost 1 terabyte. Nice. That's pretty cool. 1 terabyte of memory bandwidth. Interesting. That is only around 40 times more. I wouldn't say only. It does seem like it is quite a difference after all. That is indeed a very impressive difference. Yeah. I feel like if I buy a video card, I'm probably gonna buy a video card from from the 30 series, like the Nvidia 30 series, obviously. Nvidia 4090 has 1008 gigabytes, yeah. But that is indeed better. I have a feeling that it will be either the 3070 or the 3080. Those are probably the ones I will be able to afford. But yeah, that's something that I'm not gonna do anytime soon, for the simple fact that before doing that, what I need to do is I need to upgrade my processor. So thinking about video cards for now is not particularly a smart idea, I will say. But yeah. But when it eventually comes the time to do that, I think the 30 series will do. At the same time though, it's most likely that whenever that happens, there's most likely gonna be a better Nvidia video card out there. And if that's the case, it's also a possibility that the 40 series might become cheaper. That's basically doing futurology, not something very smart to do. Why did I do a full jump there? What the hell? Am I stupid? Don't like 3070 or 3080 because they are 20 gigabytes at best. Well, I mean, in my experience, that should be more than enough. I mean, for what I've seen, most video games don't even require video RAM that much. I mean, I see a lot of the requirements that say that they require an Nvidia with 4 gigabytes of RAM and an AMD with 8 gigabytes of RAM. So if that's the case, then clearly the gigabytes of RAM are not very important, because if you're asking for two things that are completely different and you're putting them on the same level, I will assume that it doesn't matter that much. Current gen consoles are 16 gigabytes, so games will be tuned around that. Forget the requirements are often lies. Yeah, I know, but the thing is that I think for what I will do, video RAM is the least of my concerns. Like, first of all, what I'm mostly interested in is the encoder. And the encoder is something that is obviously completely independent from the video RAM. It's its own component. The encoder is just there. And keep in mind that I also don't plan on playing games any higher than 1080p. So I don't think video RAM is a concern for me. What I care about is, well, obviously the clock speed and the encoder, but mostly the encoder. Because I know that the 3070 and the 3080 are good video cards. I mean, obviously you could get a faulty video card from factory, sure, but they are good video cards. So All I need is that. Something that is decent. Well, decent. I mean, well, that's the thing. You gotta understand that when it comes to PC components, my standards are very low. I mean, I know that for you, a 3070 is not impressive at all. To me, a 3070 is an overkill video card. Like, having that video card is already insane as it is. Like, I wouldn't need anything more than that. So yeah. Look at the Intel Arc A... Oh, you're talking about a processor? Yeah, but the AV1 encoder... no, that is not something that will be useful yet. Because Twitch doesn't accept AV1 encoder. Oh, it's a CPU. Well, still. The problem is Twitch still doesn't support AV1. So I wouldn't be able to make any use of that. Yes, in the future it might support it, sure. But for now all I care is having a decent... what was the encoding? It's 264, right? I think the one that is the standard. As long as it supports that, I'm fine. It's dirty cheap and also supports 265. Yeah, but that's also another thing. I think Twitch also doesn't support 265, you know? And also, there is another thing you gotta take into account. There might be something that is dirty cheap where you live, but I can tell you that it's not gonna be dirty cheap here. Especially if it's something that doesn't have a lot of demand. People are most likely gonna sell it very expensive, since they don't expect it to sell. So they are gonna sell it to the very few people that are interested. So yeah, might be cheap over there, but it's not gonna be cheap over here. I'm Argentinian. One of the countries with the worst economies in the world, excluding obviously a lot of African countries. But if we exclude Africa, it's probably one of the worst economies in the world. Maybe the only other worst cases are like Venezuela and Zimbabwe. Well, isn't Zimbabwe in Africa? So yeah, basically I think only Venezuela is worse than us. So you can tell the situation is rough. And a lot of items, well, electronic components particularly, are sold for a way higher price than the one you will pay if you just buy them off Amazon or something like that. So yeah, what something for you might be $100, for me it might be $300. You might think I'm exaggerating, but I am not. It is like that. Unfortunately, obviously, but it is like that. So yeah. It is the way it is, though. As I said, I don't have high standards. So, well, not like I'm allowed to have high standards anyways when it comes to PC components, but yeah, it's alright though. Actually, that gave me the doubt. It's Zimbabwe in Africa? I think it is, right? where else will it be? I don't think it's an Asian country, and it's definitely not European. But it most likely has to be African, right? I wonder if that can be a full champ. Like with a wall bounce. Probably not, but maybe worth giving it a try, perhaps. I believe I just want to check if there is availability, because Intel cards cost a third of Nvidia ones and performance is great compare. I mean, the availability is buying it from someone that resells it. And obviously people that resell it a lot more expensive than it normally would be. Wait, I want to check this. It might be full champ. But because of that stupid ass ledge, it's not. Because the bounce... Unless I do it from further on the right. Like if I do it from the middle, will that work? No, it still gets caught in there. Maybe from the left edge. Fucking shit. Alright, so full champ is not a thing here. The question is, what's the best angle? Because I feel like, for the most part, all of the other champs in this cat house, I have mostly figured out a way to do them relatively easily. But that one I haven't. I don't know if there is a way to do it easier or not. But yeah, that champ is a problem, and if you pay attention to the other platforms, it's clearly not the same type of champ. Like, it's a different champ altogether. So, yeah. It's all about the angles here. Angles are super important with this annoying ass cat hills. It's a matter of keep practicing, because I'm pretty sure we are gonna be champing in this place for a while, simply because it's gonna be the most common place you're gonna be in. All of the other places are mostly temporary. The only one being Molding Manor. Molding Manor is probably the only other place that you're most likely gonna be in, maybe on the same frequency as this one. Every other section, though, it looks like you will be out of there quickly. Either because you will go past it, or because you're gonna fall. Whichever is the case, yeah. But yeah, don't worry about it. About the video card, it's alright. For now, my number one worry is worry even more. No, the thing that you need to worry about, well, not really. I am the one that needs to worry about it, but it's my rent. So, like, here's the thing. Well, tomorrow is the first day of March, right? And the first day of March, well, obviously I need to pay the rent, duh. But I will also take the opportunity to ask the guy that is renting me if he will keep the contract after it expires. or if he won't. That is my worry now. After that, I can start worrying about getting new video cards or whatever, but for now, that's my worry. Okay, so here, even though I still feel that this is a bad idea, I could try doing a full jump here to the left and see if it works. I still think the issue of doing that is that the jump that you do to the right still wouldn't be that easy to do. It's just that I feel like the jump that you do here to the right platform is very hard. That jump, I mean, I got it there, but that's not an easy jump to do. But I have a feeling that the jump that you do from that invisible platform is even worse. So I wouldn't be very sure at all. Whoop. Alright. So we say that this one was a full jump into a tap and into this. Okay, this is the one jump that I over jumped and I ended up falling all the way to the bog. So you don't want to over jump this, you want to under jump this. Well, I mean, no, you want to get the jump. But if you fail it, you want an under jump, not an over jump. Okay, that is preferable, and at most you can fall here. Well, I wouldn't really say that. You can probably fall lower, but like, it tends to be around here. You don't tend to fall more than that. But yeah, if you over jump it, it's way worse. But yeah, it's a hard jump. There is no other way to do it than just doing it. Yeah, basically hardware here is a scam, essentially. Alright, we say here to do full jump. I can't remember. I will do it though. Yeah, okay, this is full jump. Though I don't know if this is tap or walk off. Or maybe even just jump to the other platform. It seems like that's easier. Now you have this jump is extremely hard to do. Oof. Okay, this is... almost gave me a heart attack. This is a fake out. This is not the real top of the tower. So yeah, don't get happy yet. This ain't over yet. I wonder if I can get it, because I can still fail this jump. As I did. And that's a very big punishment, by the way, because you completely skip over the House of Cats. But yeah, that's a fake out. I wasn't gonna beat the game there. Now, what I don't understand is this. Last time I tried doing this and it did not work, but I'm not sure what I'm intended to do. Because I have a feeling that you don't even have room to do that jump there. I have a feeling that I need to fall down to that platform on the left. But if I do that... Well, no, that's the issue. How do I do that? Do I single tap left? Or... I mean, I cannot just fall... No, but if I single tap left, I'm bouncing off. But again, if I try to do it from the top like I did last time, I'm gonna fall. Not to mention that if I do it from the bottom, I don't think I even have an angle. I mean, I don't know. I just think this jump is not possible. Yeah, it's basically a scam, Lilo-san. It is what it is. What's a scam is this jump, though. This jump is truly a scam. Yeah. Correct. I can still recover. Oof. Oof. Alright, and I recover. Just like that. Can you believe that? Pretty funny that I reached the end of the Phantom Tower. But yeah, again, that's not the end of the tower. That's a fake out. If that wasn't a fake out, you know how salty I will be? I will be so salty. Like, not just a little bit salty. I will be extremely salty. But yeah, don't worry, it's a fake out. I can guarantee you that because I remember what screens come after that. There is one that has a very cool NPC. It has an NPC that looks so cool. A 4090 costs 2.5 times, that's nuts. Yeah. You know, I mean, don't worry about it. When I tell you that prices here of electronic components are bad, it's not an exaggeration. That is truly a scam. Yeah, but it is what it is. I mean, when you are born in a third world country, you need to understand that that's how things are gonna be. If you think that they are a very big issue, you need to get out. I personally don't think it's that big of an issue, because as long as I can get a place to live and food to eat, I think that's alright. Obviously, your standards can always be better, but they can always be worse as well. Just like this game, you know? In this game there are some champs that if you do right, you might be in a better position than the one you were in. But if you fail them, you can lose a lot of progress. Well, that's how I view it. Like, if I really wanted to, I could try emigrating to another place. But that's putting all the eggs on a single basket. If that basket gets destroyed, shishis, you know. I was looking around, I found some browser extension that added the touch to the price for Steam games, and it almost doubled the prices. Yeah, that happens too. I come from a second world country, but it was always an objective to get out. Yeah, but I think that there is a thing that I think I mentioned yesterday even. A phenomenon that is, the grass is always greener on the other side, right? Now, I understand. Economically, if I have like a shop in the USA, for example, I obviously will be way better off economically than I am here. No doubt about it. But there are a lot of things that you have to deal with in USA that are not things I will want to deal with, you know? Are not particular things that really make me very excited about the idea. Ooh, that was so close. I don't want to do this champ again. Come on. And if you undershoot it, it's still quite a big punishment. Not as bad as overshooting it, mind you, but still quite bad. But yeah, that champ is crazy, dude. Insanely crazy champ. Even nonsensical, I will say. Well, back at the fucking cat. That was an OP card in Yu-Gi-Oh! That grass looks greener. Nice. Very cool card. Can I ask you the country that you came from, Lilo-san? It's okay. If you don't want to say it, you don't need to say it. I obviously won't pressure you to say it. Federation always listening then. I don't like employee protection laws at the USA, but I don't know if Argentina is much better. Yes, Argentina is much better in terms of law, employee protection laws. It's way better. The problem is, good luck finding a legal job. Oh, he PM'd me. Alright. Yeah, obviously I'm not gonna say it out loud. I wanna check. Alright. Yeah. It's understandable. And which country are you in right now? Again, if you don't want to say, you don't need to say it. I will assume for what you're saying, you're probably in the USA. Or maybe not. I don't know. Let me check. Okay, that also makes sense. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean... Oh, come on, that's you, Blue. Fuck you. Unbelievable, and he says whoa. This guy is a menace. He should say whoa with a crying face. Unbelievable. Fucking Blue. Yeah, no, those kind of upgrades make sense. I understand them. And I'm pretty sure that if you were able to go through that, I also think that it has worked out well for you. But, well, I also said it yesterday. I don't like risking. I hate risks. I am allergic to risks. So basically, giving up all my livelihood here to try to look for a better one in another country is something I wouldn't do. Because, yes, there is a chance I can actually pull through. And I don't know, maybe I can go to Canada and get a better life than the one I have here. It's possible. But it's also possible that I go to Canada and I end up homeless. It could happen. That's the thing. Or depending on someone that extorts you for you to live properly, right? That's the thing. All those things can happen. You might be thinking, well, but that, come on, dude. That's very low chance. You're basically grasping at straws. But I mean, if I was dying of hunger or being tortured or being drafted, I would understand, but that's not the case. So I have a feeling that my current lifestyle is comfortable enough do not want to risk it. Just bunk with Yami. Yeah, that is most likely the worst outcome possible. So yeah, you go bunk with Yami. Not to mention that Yami say that he doesn't want to be Canadian anymore, so maybe it won't even happen. Maybe by the time I go to Canada, he's not even there. I mean, maybe he's not even there now. Keep in mind that he's a federal agent, so he cannot disclose his location. I could become Xeno. See, that's the issue. That's what I can imagine Yami being. At least for the few interactions that I have with him, it's the kind of person I wouldn't want to encounter in real life. That's 100% sure. Like, I really wouldn't. A good shop allows you to get a good ham because they will rent you. Well, that's also another problem. I mean, it is true that I am renting right now. But there is a possibility that me and my family might move here. Here I mean the place that I'm currently renting. And if that's possible, then it's very clear that... Wait, someone else... Who is whispering me? Huh. Someone that follows, Shaq Smithon. Well, thanks for the... Oops. Thanks for the follow, but why are you whispering me? You can just talk in chat, you know? I'm not gonna ban you. Unless you want to scam me, Nah, I'm just kidding. Or am I? I don't know. I thought Canada was like the end goal. It gets better than Canada. Canada is having some issues currently. Issues that the rest of the world have. It's just that... Well, I don't know. Yami could tell you. Yeah, redeem the whisper. Lies and slander. How are you doing, Yami? Are you... Is Shaq Smith on your alt? That will be funny. I don't think it is. It will be funny. He will make an alt just to talk shit. That will be interesting. I don't know why he will even do that. You already have your main, you don't need an alt. I click here to buy NFT. Whisper. That will be interesting. He should say, "Hey, mama huevo," and then he doesn't say anything else. That will be funny. That's funny. Alt is Shaq Goff. Nice. Very man of culture, if you ask me. How did that not work? That's weird. That should have worked. What? You're gonna experience fear and loathing in Quebec? I mean... It's a possibility. I don't think Quebec will be particularly the best place to go. My heart skipped a bit there, I gotta tell you. it skip a bit. I just... Okay. So can I actually do this time? Yeah, okay. But this is a fake out, as I say. This is not the real end of the tower. So where do you go? Oh, full champ, right? From here? Wait, is it from here or from here? No, I think it's from here. Alright. Oof. Alright. This is an interesting looking place. Seems extremely chokeable though. Yeah. It also seems like it has a lot of protection, but I'm pretty sure that protection is fake, because you look at that and you think to yourself, oh, it has a whole safety net. I'm pretty sure those holes that you see up there are fake. You can actually fall through those. Like, if my memory serves me right, you can definitely do that. Alright. We reach a waterfall, the Halte Ruin. Okay. Well, at least it's nice to be in a new area. Though, what I will probably have to do is end it here, because... I'm feeling that this area could take a long time. Okay, what I don't know is... Do I want to know if I can fall here? Oh, I cannot? Really? So these are not fake floors. These are real floors. Alright. Okay. I'm actually satisfied with that. Even though this is clearly not what you would call a super safety net, at least it will save you from a lot of falls. Yeah, this... I mean, I want to... Okay, here. Let me see a couple of screens to see what I can find on the other side. Though it's probably not, because you know that I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna end up falling like a moron. So I think it's better to just leave it here. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna leave it in the water, just to make sure I don't start the game and immediately fall to the left. Let's just leave it here. Don't know if the new mousepad slides too much or my old one was so worn out that it doesn't want to slide anymore. I don't know. That's something you will know. But yeah, I think that this is a good place to leave it for today. This has been an amazing amount of progress, and clearly with this amount of progress, I'm more than happy to continue playing. We already fell all the way to, well, not technically all the way to the bottom, but we did fall a lot. And I was able to recover, so I think that for now I have some confidence in beating this. Obviously, it might not happen anytime soon, but at least I want to keep playing it. Like, at least I have that motivation to make it to the end. But yeah, it might still be a long time. Don't think that it's anywhere near done. But I'm just telling you that for now I do have the motivation to finish it. So thanks everyone a lot for watching, and I'll be seeing you on the next stream with more Champ King. So have a good one and take care.